What's good, y'all? Blacksmith here, and today we're here to talk about Wolfman. This movie not only serves as a reboot to the 1941 film The Wolfman, but also serves as the third movie in the Universal Monsters cinematic universe. And just to name a few, the Universal Monsters include the Mummy, Frankenstein, Dracula, those classic monsters. This movie is also being produced by Jason Blum of Blumhouse Productions, and if you know my history and my attitude towards Blumhouse Productions, it hasn't been great as of late. The same goes for my sentiments when it comes to horror movies released at the top of the year. So, did Blumhouse Productions deliver on a reboot of a classic movie? Let's talk about it. The movie follows a man named Blake and his family as they travel to his childhood home in Oregon for a little vacation and come across a creature that is a little less than friendly. This animalistic creature infects Blake during an attack, and throughout the night, Blake then transforms into said creature. So based off that synopsis alone, you already know you're getting a combination of a creature feature and a body horror all into one. Now let's get into some pros and cons and talk about how good this may have been. The first pro I want to talk about, the story. Now we've seen this type of plot play out a million times in different creature features and horror movies, so there's really nothing too special about this story aside from the fact of how it was executed. This movie has a plot that could have taken days to expand upon within the movie, but instead, they took all the elements and compact and condensed it into one night, turning this movie into a survive the night type of thriller. Blake's transformation into the Wolfman was very quick but very detailed. Without giving away too much of what has happened to him throughout the story, I can say it was very nice to see a story that, again, could have been expanded upon in a few days, being condensed into one night and being executed very well. Next pro I want to talk about, the thrills. And the reason why I say thrills is because in my opinion, this really wasn't too much of a horror movie. However, I would classify this movie as a body horror because of the transformation that you see the main character going through and how horrific it is. There weren't really a lot of jump scares, or really any in my opinion, but horror elements are present. It's just, in my opinion, I would classify this as a thriller movie. The last pro I want to talk about, the acting. Christopher Abbott did a great job playing Blake, aka the Wolfman, and Julia Gardner also did a great job playing his caring, concerned wife. It is safe to say that everyone did a fantastic job when it came to their acting and performances in this movie, and there's really nothing corny about it at all. Alright, now let's get into some cons, starting with the first con, and maybe the only con I have with this movie, going back to the story. Like I said before, I do think they did a great job taking a story that could have used some expanding upon in days and condensed it into one night, but I do think that hurt it along the way. Because the story is being told in one night, we get to see Blake's transformation into the Wolfman happen every 5 minutes instead of taking days and pretty much expanding on the plot so we can see him slowly transform into the Wolfman in agonizing detail. Now, I'm not saying they completely missed the mark, but I am saying they traded character development for high-level intensity. Condensing everything to one night gave us less to care about when it came to the characters because we really didn't know much outside of Blake and his wife's struggling relationship and his agonizing situation. But if this movie is just going to be a one-off remake of a classic horror movie villain, then I guess this was fine. But in my opinion, if they ever wanted to do a sequel for this movie, they kind of cut it off at the head. And that's pretty much all the cons I could think of. If y'all could think of any, please leave them in the comments. Overall, I really did enjoy this movie. Blumhouse Productions came out swinging this year and definitely hit a good mark, and it was a great start to horror movies in 2025. Thanks for checking out my review. Let me know if you plan on seeing this movie. Let me know if you've already seen it and what you thought about it. Let me know what you thought about my review, and give this video a like and your boy a follow. I truly appreciate it. And until next time, peace.